have a question around the media landscape, specifically as it relates to news. We come from the U.S., or at least a U.S. institution, and what we see there is a very polarizing space, right? It's you have news on the left and you have news on the right. How is that here in India, and how did that manifest itself for you to run as an independent candidate?
So, Gigi, it's a good question. I must say that, when I said that the world has changed in the last 10 years, so has the media as well, in many ways. There was this assumption that the media is actually run by some people who are not social animals or who are not part of society, which is not correct. They are as much affected as a judge in a judiciary is, or any other part of a society where society gets impacted. So media also has its perspectives, also has its leanings, and rightfully and wrongfully, I will not argue. I mean, they're all right with their own perspective. But I would say that what has also happened is that we have moved from a very structured and a formal medium to a unstructured and an informal medium. So the digital and social media and the dispensation is all about being informal. It's not that you're going to suit up and read the news in a particular script in a manner. That's the opening montage. This is how the opening tune comes, and blah, 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 and in a very civilized manner, or should I say a very British manner, the way we were taught how news is broadcasted back in the day when in the BBC, when it was started in the 50s, and to showcase news in a particular light. I think the entire idea of digital and social media is to break the norm. People have different ideas and people have different philosophies, and rightfully so. We are all entitled to have our own belief system. So there's no one who can say it's right or wrong. The only problem is when you start transgressing on the other's rights. And that is where I think media does some overstepping. And that happens in the US and in India as well. So, I mean, everyone is not cast in the same bucket, and everyone doesn't have the same, there are people who might disagree with, let's say a Hannity and a Com show, or a Bill O'Reilly, and where people might even disagree with the CNN and a couple of others. So it doesn't matter whether you're a liberal or a Democrat or a Republican for that fact. Even in India, I think there is the one thing which is very, very, very different is that everyone is entitled to their perspective. I was at the IPU recently in Rwanda. I want to share this. IPU is the Inter-Parliamentary Union, where about 1,200 MPs from 190 countries come together. And there's a General Assembly where I was representing India in about 3 standing committees on different areas. And we were a part of the Asia Pacific group, and obviously the hot topic in Rwanda about 2 months ago was the Ukraine conflict, and we were talking about that. And a lot of MPs asked us that, why is India buying oil from Russia? Why should you be buying oil from Russia? Unfortunately, the reality of the matter is that we are buying far less oil from Russia than the whole of West buying gas from Russia. So actually the quantum of gas being brought from whole of Western Europe and North America is much higher. So all I'm trying to say is that there are always perspectives, whether it's domestic or international, and there's nothing right or wrong. And we are entitled to have our own perspectives. So same goes for media, and within the media itself, you can call it a left perspective or a right perspective or a centrist perspective. But I think we should not castigate the media for having their opinion. They are entitled to have so. I think it only strengthens a democracy and makes it more vibrant. That's all I have to say.